Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj, Sirwalterj show. You're doing all right? Good. Today is a midday, and it is a Wednesday, and I want to see what we could do with this subject here. The people need that tithe money, and they need that tithe money back. Sometimes y'all say tithes, tithes, tithe. No matter how you say it, everybody know what it is. Everybody know what it's for, and everybody know that you use it to abuse. They need that money back. They need it now. Sin 60.
You good. You good. You good. You good. Don't stop it.
Bass.
It's the show that will get you thinking, and where the topics are hot. Feel free to comment whether we agree or not, 'cause he's got something to say.
Sirwalterj, Sirwalterj.
He's got something to say. Sirwalterj.
Sirwalterj. Report live 7 days a week, always on time, but this time is not free. Sirwalterj, always on sleep. Latest trending topics had you jumping out your seat.
He's got something to say.
Come on in, boys. The water is fine.
Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj show. I'm here. It is the midday connection, baby. Hi, everybody. Come in the Water Fan. You're doing all right? It's so good to see y'all out there. Tongue tie. Good to see y'all, all you bunkers out there. It is it's midday, and you all should be on lunch or done with lunch, and you have moved on with your lives to get back to work and do whatever you do. Danny, I'm so glad you're here. Danny, I'm so glad you're here. She understand why I'm saying that. Carolyn Wrong, good to see you, Beatrice and Sandra and Dietrich and Lakeisha. All y'all here. Listen, I need that money back. You ever made a loan to somebody and then times got hard for you, and then you had to pull in your loans, the money you got out there? You ever had that? Well, that's going on right now. I need that money back. I need that money back. All right. When you came to me and you needed that money, I had it for you. I was doing okay. I had my bills paid and all kind of stuff. And so, now payback is a mug, as y'all say. I need that money back. I got bills paid, but because my resources, which is SNAP and WIC and all these other stuff, it's I'm furloughed and I'm working. I gotta work, but I can't get a paycheck. I need that money back. I need it back. See, if you had just kept tithing as food, we wouldn't have a problem here. We wouldn't really have a big problem here because, you all can just, you all can supply the food. Y'all got food pantries out there. So I don't think I would have a big problem with that. All right. But because you decided to change tithe from food to money, I need that money back. I need it back because you said that the church was the storehouse. Well, if there's nothing in the storehouse, then like I made the analogy of Burger King, if there's no burgers and you call yourself a king, you need to close the doors. I need that money back. No, not a loan. No. Because when I gave it to you, that wasn't a loan. I gave it to you so that there might be meat in mine house. You read Mallet to the Kai. You read it to me. You've been reading it to my grandfather and my great-grandfather. For 100 years, you've been reading that. Mallet to the Kai, chapter 3. So that there might be meat in my storehouse. Okay, so I've been given to the storehouse for years. And now for the first time, I'm pulling from the storehouse. I need my money back. I need my money back. What time do I need to come? Do I need to call the church's office? What time y'all open? What time y'all open? Just give me the time y'all open and time y'all close. I'm gonna find a way to get there at the time that you open. All right. I'm not gonna come later after you can close. I'm not gonna do that. I know how to follow instructions. All right. Your hours out from 9 to 5, or maybe 12 to 4. You may got banker's hours. You need me to come on a Sunday? I can come on Sunday. I'm going to come on a Sunday and I got a whole bunch of people coming with me. I need that money back. I need that money back. Will a man rob God? Come on, Jerome. I need that money. I need that money back. Because times are hard, and y'all was saying I'm not even going to say that y'all lied to us about that whole giving tithe thing. Then you're going to be, cursed with the curse. You read out of the Bible, so if you read out of the Bible, I'm not even going to say you lying. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. So let's assume you wasn't lying. So if you wasn't lying, can I get that money back? But you said that this is a house where my money is stored. That's what you said. You read it out of there. Storehouse. So that there might be meat. Even though it said M-E-A-T, you changed M-E-A-T to M-E-E-T. Or you changed M-E-A-T to M-O-N-E-Y. All right. So the money should be there. I need my money back. I need it back. I don't understand why you're not answering me. I'm going to give you some scriptures here, because the reason why I'm doing the show is because so many people are talking about this, calling me, texting me, emailing me, saying, Brother Jones, I need money because we on SNAP. We on WIC. I'm a government employee. They about to lay us all off. All right, all this stuff. And we need money, and we are Christians who attend a church building. And my question to them is, okay, why aren't you going back to your church where the storehouse is? Well, we can't do. Why you can't do that? Go in there and say, I need my money back. I don't understand you people. I don't understand you people. How you all could just, do you take money orders? I can't understand this. Here where the scripture says in Deuteronomy 26:12, it instructs the Israelites to set aside a tenth of their produce every third year of the Levites, foreigners, fatherless, and the widows. This year, the tithing was a specific benevolence offering in addition to the other tithes to ensure that the poor and the vulnerable had enough to eat. After giving to the tithes, the confession of God provision was to be made before God. So it's supposed to go to the foreigners and the fatherless and the widows, all right? And that basically poor people. So you're saying, well, this ain't that year. Huh? When was it ever that year? Did you ever do this? No, you never did it. You never did it. So the historicity behind this here is that the Levites worked in the temple. They had no inheritance. You have to understand. God was their inheritance. So they was the musicians. They were the gatekeepers. They were the one who killed the fires, kiln, or whatever you call it. They did everything in the temple. All right. Them, the Levites and the priests, which is why they call it the Levitical priesthood. All right. And so people would bring their food there so that there might be food for the Levites to eat. And they put it in Levitical cities. That's what's the storehouse. There was food in the temple, but there was a whole bunch of food in the storehouses within there. That's why he said you have no room to receive, which means it was so much food packed in the Frigidaire. You ever went to the store and you had too much meats and too much stuff? You couldn't feel it in the refrigerator. So my father bought a deep freezer and put it in the basement so that he can just, put all of the hard meats down there. You understand? So that there might be meat in a storehouse. So now, since you all changed it and the meaning of it, I got no problem with it. Let tithe be money. I need my money back. I have hit hard times. So, the government, I'm going to play some video here. The government decided to collect taxes so that the government can pay out a tithe. The tithe goes to the poor, and they call it SNAP and WIC and other things. Okay. It is a stimulus package for the poor, and it is an economic boost for the stores. stores. You understand? So when you pay your taxes, the government puts it in an account. And there's also a reserve. You understand? And the reserve is not touched until needed. I'm going to get there in a minute. The other monies that you've given in your taxes go towards funding the poor, the needy, the babies, the disability, those on disability, disabled, and the grocery stores that will supply the food for the poor. So when the poor goes down there to the office and get their monies, they get food stamps and they get cash so that they can buy food and other items, or maybe even pay their rent. You understand? Might want to buy some deodorant, some toothbrushes and paste and what have you. And they take that money, the poor, and take it to the stores, and so that the stores could supply the needs of the people. So your taxes help stimulate the economy by not only feeding the poor, but also keeping the stores open so that not only the poor could eat, you can too. You see, you don't understand how this works, do you? It's a domino effect. You're paying taxes to feed the poor, to keep the grocery stores open, so that you too could go to the store. When you complain, when you feel you don't need to pay no taxes to go to the poor because you heard from some conservative media that these people on SNAP who are robbing the thing, you can count how many people are robbing and acting the fool, because y'all seen all these videos on there where black folks talking about they're going to rob the places, they're going to do this. Listen, SNAP ain't like that today. Oh, absolutely not. The fraud rate on SNAP is extremely low because you only own there for a few years, and then you have to make a certain amount of money. You got all this kind of stuff. Even Section 8. I'm sorry to tell you, if you've been on Section 8 for 2 years, you are gone. They are removing you. It ain't like it used to be back in the day. You can't abuse the system like you used to. You understand? And so you're giving to the poor through your tax money, and you are helping your local stores stay open. When the government decide that they're not going to feed the poor no more, these grocery stores are firing people, laying them off. And many of them, unfortunately, going to have to close, especially the smaller and the mom and pop stores. Do you see what you're doing to yourself? So I'm watching Reese Waters, and he was reading a tweet from Andrew, I Am the Resistance. And I want y'all to hear what's going on here. Then I'm going to play some more stuff. Let's see right here.
Outrageous as that sounds, it's clearly the way this administration has been moving. Everyone needs to understand what Donald Trump is planning. If he allows SNAP benefits to expire for over 41 million Americans on November 1st during his shutdown, it won't be by accident. It'll be by design. Trump's shutdown isn't about budgets. It's about control. He instructed Speaker Johnson to keep the government closed, and Johnson obeyed his master. Everything that happens next flows from that fact. On November 1st, SNAP benefits, food assistance for 41 million people will stop. That's more than 1 in 10 Americans suddenly unable to feed their families. And Trump is refusing to release $6 billion in reserve funds that could cover it. And what happens when over 41 million people suddenly can't afford food? Desperation, empty shelves, looting born of hunger and necessity, not crime, parents skipping meals so their kids can eat. It'll create mass chaos, and Trump knows it. Why would he want that? because decentralized chaos creates the perfect pretext for an authoritarian power grab. He's been itching to invoke the Insurrection Act, which lets him deploy the U.S. military inside the country under the guise of restoring order. Picture the headlines. Riots sweep the nation. Trump deploys troops to restore peace. He'd frame himself as the law and order savior, even though he, of course, engineered the crisis himself. Classic authoritarian playbook: create chaos, declare emergency, seize power. Once the Insurrection Act is triggered, he could send federal troops into cities, crush protests, and even delay elections for safety. That's precisely how democracies die, not with one coup, but with a manufactured emergency that the wannabe despot uses to take total control. Remember January 6th? He already tried to use chaos to hold on to power after losing the 2020 election, and this is what rendered him constitutionally disqualified for holding office under the 14th Amendment. Since everyone ignored that, he now controls the entire government.
He owns the entire government. This is an authoritarian playbook. And some of y'all have been at church too long and not paying attention to what's been going on in not just American history, but world history. This is a playbook. And this is Project 2025. This is Christian nationalism. This is fascism. This is all kind of isms and all meshed all into one. Leninism, Putinism, Kim Jong-unism. It's all of this in one. And you voted for it. Yes, you did, because elections have consequences. All right. So for those of you who don't want to give to the poor, then listen, who cares about you and what you do or do not want to do? We ain't thinking about you. All right. I know people who still are saying, hey, there's some people out there, because y'all looking on YouTube and you're seeing people saying, I got 6 kids and y'all owe me this. Y'all need to take care of my babies. That is the hype that helps me see your stupidity. When you got a couple people on there acting a fool, and this is why Trump sent the National Guards into Oregon. He sent the National Guard into Oregon. What city was that? He sent them there because something that came on Fox News that happened so long ago in a little area of Oregon, okay? So he decided to send the troops. Says Oregon is on fire. It's on fire. It's on fire. That amazed all of us. It amazed the Oregonites. They was like, what? On fire? What the heck are you talking about? We leave our doors unlocked here. But all it takes, Portland, thank you, Paul Harvey. All it takes is somebody to see something on news and say it's happening everywhere. Everywhere. So because you know somebody who's ripping off the system, you are going to punish 42 million people because you can count a couple of people who you know. You are a fool. And this is why the government is shut down right now. Because they are fighting over Medicare. Because they said that the illegals are on Medicaid. And I showed y'all the number of the illegals that are on Medicaid. So because those illegals are taking advantage of Obamacare, they figured kill all of it. They're not killing Obamacare and Medicaid and all that stuff because of the illegals. They are killing it because they've always wanted to kill it. Before there was an illegal issue, they've always wanted to kill it. Why is it all of a sudden the illegals being on this is something that all of a sudden popped up? You didn't hear about the illegals on this ever since this thing was implemented in 2012, maybe? When did Obama get in office? I know it took him a little while to get this thing implemented, But from, let's say 2012, I think that was the second time, the second administration. 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You didn't hear nothing about illegals on Obamacare. They was trying to get rid of it then. And they tried their best. And it was my boy, what's his name, who was, he's dead now, the Republican man who ran against Obama and lost, but who was a decent man. He did this. Cloop. Y'all remember him? When he did this, it peed off the Republicans. He killed it. And it saved Obamacare and whatever. And they've been so upset ever since. So they needed another red herring. They needed another excuse. So they said, oh, here's one. Illegals. John McCain. Thank you, Kay. And thank you, Henry. John McCain. Bam. A decent man. A man who I didn't always agree with his politics. But what a decent man John McCain was. That old lady said, Obama is a Muslim. McCain like, no, lady. He is a decent American man, a good father who I just disagree with his politics, but he's a decent man. And you heard those slow claps. There's no way that a McCain rally could ever go like that ever again in America. McCain was the last of followers on the Republican side that had some sense of decency. You'll never see that kind of correction again among conservatives, ever. ever. Didn't hear a word. Nope. It's recorded that more were deported under his administration. Under Obama, she's talking about Obama's administration. More were deported under his administration than almost any other president. Didn't hear a word. So the government is shut down because they're trying to kill your grandfather and your father and your mother and your aunties by removing the subsidies, so that the price would be so high that they can't afford it, so they got to get off of it so they can save money in the coffers, the government coffers. You understand? The Democrats, who I don't always agree with, all right, because they're devils like Republicans. They're both devils. But you got to pick the better of the two evils. They was trying to save grandmama. So they couldn't get together. They couldn't figure it out. And so the government got shut down, and Republicans blamed the Democrats for trying to save grandmama. Y'all understand? That's what y'all saying. The Dems shut it down. Really? The Dems are trying to save your grandmama and your auntie and your father. My father is on it right now. My father needs it. My father is battling cancer right now. If it wasn't for this Medicaid, Medicare, all this other stuff, I don't know what my father would, I don't know what we would do, because we all can't afford the kind of treatments he's getting right now. So they trying to fight Democrats to keep my father alive. I applaud them for that. So you got to blame somebody. And you all are looking at the wrong thing. So the Republicans are blamed, the Democrats are blamed. Listen, y'all can fight till you fight. Meanwhile, 42 million Americans are going to starve if we don't do something. So while y'all fighting, you've got a reserve that can feed the people for the month of November, and they won't do it. That tells you that is demonic. Let me show you how demonic Donald J. Trump is, and the people who's in his party, how demonic they are. Because this is not Donald J. Trump. Trump is saying yes to banning and the other food that's in the over there. What's that other food? Steve, the other dude. Okay, the one who looks like he looks creepy. He looks perfect for Halloween. You know, the one with the hair, with the lack thereof. He's listening to these guys. This is the playbook of Project 2025. I don't think y'all understand how demonic this is. So let's see.
Panic is setting in across the country as programs that keep nearly 42 million Americans fed are set to lose funding in just 4 days.
I'm only down to 1 pack of chicken, and I don't even know what I'm going to do for the next month. My son won't have his milk, and we won't have food. I'll go
Miller,
without
yeah.
eating it or anything as long as my kids eat.
SNAP isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Everything comes from my SNAP benefits. I haven't even gotten to the 1st of November, and I'm already shaking in my boots.
Benefits will fall victim to the government shutdown on Saturday. And while some states are using emergency funding as a stopgap, it won't be enough if the shutdown drags on. One of those states, Minnesota, where nearly 8% of the population depends on food stamps, including children, seniors, and people with disabilities. And we just learned minutes ago that more than 24 states have now sued the Trump administration in a last-ditch effort to maintain SNAP funding. Joining us now is Democratic Congresswoman from Minnesota, Angie Craig, ranking member of the Agriculture Committee, which oversees SNAP. I'm always happy to have you as a guest, but particularly now, given this lawsuit that was just filed, what can you tell us about it?
Well, I'm very proud of my Attorney General, Keith Ellison, in Minnesota. He's among 22 other states who filed an action against the Trump administration today. Candidly, I said last week, we need to sue their asses. This is illegal what they're doing. We have appropriated money. It's over $5 billion into a contingency fund that until last week on the USDA website itself, it said that this money could be used during a government shutdown. And we know they also have the authority to also move other money around and pay November SNAP benefits. The bottom line, Chris, the administration is choosing not to pay 440,000 Minnesotans their SNAP benefits in November. They're choosing not to pay 16 million children who have access to SNAP benefits. They are choosing to do this. It's illegal, it's immoral, and it's probably one of the most cruel things we've seen out of this administration so far.
Well, let me talk about the other side of this. The Agriculture Department has a new message on its website blaming Democrats for this upcoming lapse. And so Speaker Mike Johnson, who also defends the Agriculture Department's refusal to step in and use contingency funds to help, said this.
We want to fund SNAP, but they did the legal research and they could not find a 1930s era statute to bootstrap that one. The contingency fund was approved by Congress, and when the Democrats voted against the CR, they voted against the ability of us to use that money. And so 42 million people are going to suffer because they're playing political games.
So I just want to repeat that and get your reaction. He says when you, the Democrats, voted against the CR, the continuing resolution, you voted against the ability to use that money. What do you say to that?
I say if his mouth is moving these days, he's lying.
Yep.
There has never been a lapse in appropriations for SNAP in any other government shutdown. This isn't new territory for this administration. They know. Secretary Brooke Rollins, her own website up until Friday night spelled this out clearly, that contingency fund can be used to fund SNAP benefits in November. It wouldn't be enough to fund the entirety of the benefits, but she also has the authority to move money around to make November benefits whole. So anyone who says the administration can't do this is just lying through their teeth.
Lying.
Which, frankly, I've just become accustomed to during this shutdown. And look, where's Donald Trump? He needs to come back to the United States and get this government open. He's literally in Japan today telling people to buy foreign cars. This is insane. First, he wants us to buy Argentine beef, and this week he wants us to buy foreign cars. What happened to putting America first in this administration?
I also want to ask you about something another member of the administration said, Congresswoman. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was confronted over the hardships that farmers are facing due to the trade war.
It gets ugly from there, all right? This is pure evil, It's an oxymoronic thing to say pure evil, but it's pure evil, like saying military intelligence. It's pure evil that grown men, I wanted to cuss, but God saved me, so I wanted to cuss. Sometimes I struggle with my salvation because I wanted to put some words in there. Grown men. I'm gonna ask God if I can just cuss just one time, and then ask that His grace cover me, because it just seems like there's a cuss word that needs to fit right in there somewhere. I'm not sure what. I'm kind of sure which word to put in there, but grown men and grown women who've been in office for decades, who've got constituents who are poor, who went in there and pulled the lever and say, you need to represent us, are now in there afraid that they turn from one guy. Because if they turn from that one guy, they could lose their jobs. So they go, I believe, this is what I'm seeing in the spirit. Just don't say donkey. This is what I'm seeing in the spirit, y'all. This is what I'm seeing in the spirit, all right? Yeah, y'all help me with this, because this is what I'm seeing. Ask about. That's what I should have done. I should have asked you Baptists to help me out with that. Okay? Here's what I think is happening. I believe, Regina, I believe that the Republicans, Johnetta, y'all don't want me to cuss. I want to cuss so bad. There are a lot of Republicans who are seeing this. They're voting for this. And they get in the car and they cry, and they have a moment. They cry. I believe, and I see this in the spirit, that there are men who say, fiddlesticks, who literally stand at that camera with Donald Trump and the rest of them, and they smile. They giddy. And when the cameras are off and they go in their office, they cry. They get in the car and they cry all the way home. Randy Roebuck said, don't cuss. Nobody want me to cuss. See, salvation comes with, salvation, it comes with problems. It comes with problems. Because the old me want to just cuss so bad. Please be patient with me. God ain't through with me yet. Is He through with y'all? He through with y'all? Well, He ain't through with me yet. Because when I turn this camera off, woo, I'm going to have a good cuss. I'm not going to record it. But I'm going to cuss for 5 minutes straight. I believe, Gloria, that they somewhere crying. They go home and they like, what we going to do? We got to go back to work and smile in front of this man's face so that we can put food on our tables. I know that's what's going on, Dorothy. Dorothy, I'm gonna pray for you. What you say? I'm telling you. So Donald J. to the Trump is building. Here we are, Daniel. Here's the point where you and I come in. You see, only one. Y'all can tell if Sheila is saved or not. She said, "Cuss away." You could tell somebody who ain't saved. You can tell when there's the saints and there's the ain'ts in the comment section. And Sheila is struggling with her salvation. So right here, let me show y'all, and don't go nowhere. I'm gonna give y'all some financial information that may help, may not. I don't know. Okay. I'm glad the old man is gone. Well, I don't know. Every now and then the old man pop up when I'm watching Fox News. Bunch of cowards. I know, man. I know. What I tell y'all? I told y'all Sheila's struggling. Okay, look at this. Donald J. Trump is building a ballroom. For who? Not you. He's building a ballroom for other oligarchs and other heads of state of different countries. Okay? All presidents do that. They have a right. And the meal plan comes out of the president's pocket, not your tax dollars. For those of you who may not know, state dinners come out of the president's coffers, not yours. Even though the White House is the people's house. All right. So what he did was gather up all of these wealthy entities to pay for this demolition. Understand? So they brought in what it's going to cost 300. It keeps going up. It was 200 million, then it was 250, and then it was 300 million. Now it's 350 million. You're like, that's not our money. That's private money. Yes, you're right. It's private money, which makes it equally demonic. This money is coming from people who live here in America, who you shop at their stores. Okay? They became rich off of your backs. You understand? And during a shutdown, okay, it's not like that he's doing this demolition after the shutdown got recovered or it happened right in the middle of shutdown. No, it had already been shut down, the government, and he called the bulldozer in there. So you're saying, well, other presidents have renovated the White House. Yes, they did. And I'm getting ready to show you the ones who renovated and why did they renovate it and what was happening during the time of the renovation. The history of the White House renovation includes major events like rebuilding it after it was burned by the British in 1814, the 1902 creation of the West Wing under Theodore Roosevelt, and the 1948 to 52 gutting and rebuilding of the interior under Harry S. Truman due to what? Structural unsoundness. He had to do it because Harry Truman's wife was playing the piano, entertaining people, and the legs of the piano went through the floor, and it almost went down. The ceiling, the people were up under there. It almost came down on people and killed some folks. He had to gut it. That place was deteriorating. Y'all understand? Subsequent presidents have continued to modernize and adapt the building, adding the East Wing, remodeling existing spaces and creating new ones like the Rose Garden in the current Oval Office location. They were creating over 100 years this house we know today. They were creating it and then stopped. And then they had to keep it, maintain it, update it, and do things inside that didn't mess with the structure of the White House. And here are all the details here. Here they are. Here they are. You can go to Google and look at it. Not one of them decided to take millions of dollars doing a shutdown, or when people are getting ready, 40 million people getting ready to go homeless, starved that is, and some are gonna go homeless as well, to take the people's house and build something that none of y'all will ever be able to use. What kind of man are you? What kind of man? Okay, what kind of man or woman are you that you could care less about starving people, that you would give millions of dollars to a project that disrupts the architectural structure of a historical building, to build something that the American people will never be able to use, which doubles the size of the White House, knowing that 42 million people are starving? I can care whose money it is. Why would you do that right now? And you know what he gonna name the ballroom after? It's sure ain't gonna be after the bunkers. You know who he gonna name it after, right? So let's see. We go here. Here are some of the, you can go to architecturaldigest.com and see what they said about it. It's a great article, a timeline of White House renovations through the years. Great article. It gives you the pictures and the history and what was going on during that time. Rebuilding from the ashes. And here's the 1881 Victorian obsession in the Tiffany windows. All right. Here is the classical renovation of Roosevelt. And here is where the wear and tear happened in 48. Right there. They had to. It was falling in. And then they went on, and this Jacqueline Kennedy got that West Wing. East Wing, I think that's the East Wing. That ain't even there anymore. That building right there, that's what he tore down, y'all. He tore down history to put up what that song, tear down paradise and put up a parking lot. That's what he did. How could you approve that? How could you approve that in your heart? And then the audacity of, you see, y'all know who that is, right? 2013. All right. Now, now watch this. Trump got in 2016, and they called it Trump's dump rehauled. It don't even look like that no more, y'all. He made it all gold. It's a gold palace. And then there it is, paved paradise. I didn't even know that was there. Paved paradise and a gilded ballroom. He tore down the Rose Garden, where all the Easter egg hunts and all that stuff, and put up what? This mess. I mean, I can't understand. Look at that. History gone. You can't rebuild that. You can't rebuild history. You just can't rebuild history. You can rebuild and put up an east building, East Wing, but you can't rebuild. You just can't. It's the ethics of it all. Who does that but someone so evil? I can only imagine what heaven is saying right now about this mess. Churches, I need my money back. I need my money. Now, let me tell y'all something. A hurricane like never before is getting ready, has hit Jamaica. It's going to hit Jamaica, Cuba, Bahamas, Haiti, Guantanamo Bay, all those areas. whole lot of people not going to make it. Here's the thing that might be shocking for y'all to hear me say. I'm not sending any money over there right now. I'm not doing a fundraiser for the islands right now. Why? Because if you can't help home, why are you trying to help? Because the United States, since this man was talking about America first, it's not America first with him because he's over in Asia right now. Guess what he's doing over there? This ain't amazing. This ain't. And Argentina, was it Argentina? Got billions of dollars from us as a bailout plan. And he campaigned on America first. He lied to y'all. Lied to y'all. So I am not sending any money to Jamaica right now. All I can do is pray. But next door, somebody's on public aid. You got to take care of your own first. And if you got any money left, you can send it over there. But this is scripture. When Paul wrote 2 Corinthians chapter 8 and 9, he was saying, take care of your own first. In Acts, the first century church, when they came together, they said, we're going to take care of our own first. They had all things common. All right. He called it equality. Equality. So you need to take care of your own. Here are some of the bunkers. One of the bunkers, So Unique was nice to send me this. $42 billion to Argentina. Is information. Just see below for information regarding companies that may provide type of temporary assistance relief for their affected furlough customers. All right. If you are affiliated with any of these customers, this may benefit you. Although we are not a federal agency, we have no idea of who amongst our state employees' families is personally affected. All right. Here are some things that you can take a snapshot or watch the show again, and you can stop it and take a snapshot. I'm not going to be sending this to an email and everybody. I'm not doing that. Just do it right here. All right. This Bank of America. If you got any relationship with these banks, if you're customers of these banks or these institutions, and if you are a worker, you got furloughed, or you're TSA or whatever you're doing, all right, consider Bank of America, Chase Bank. They have programs right now. Congressional Federal Credit Union, Fed Choice, Interior Federal Credit Union, Navy Federal Credit Union. All right, you can Google these. If you want to get your PayPal, for those of you who use that, they have allocated $25 million to fund interest-free cash advances. All right. U.S. Bank, my bank, they do a pretty good job taking good care of me. U.S. Employee Credit Union, SunTrust, Synchrony Bank. Many, if not most of y'all have Synchrony Bank. If you got, I have Synchrony Bank through my insurance, through my, not insurance, but through my dental work. Okay. They have programs. Union Plus have programs here, $300 furlough grants for eligible Union Plus credit card holders. Here are some of the furlough grants. All right. TSA plan news and announcements. All right. Here you go there. All this stuff here. You just take a snapshot of this stuff, watch the replay, and then stop the video and take the numbers down and help somebody in your neighborhood who may be affiliated. Hyundai Capital. All right. Kia Motor Finance. Ford Credit, GM, Mercedes-Benz, they're helping. All right. Mobile services, AT&T will assist with adjusting late fees, providing extensions and revising that is payment schedules. Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon. Really, I've been with Verizon for many, many years, and they have been a blessing to me. Let me tell you. And they support those who are loyal to them. I know for a fact that when hard times hit me, Verizon came through for me. All right. So they offer flexible payment options and has a promise that is to pay a program to say, I'm telling you, I've used them several times in the past. Rental home assistance, National Rental Home Council, National Food Resources and Advice. Feeding America, your school district, home, auto, life insurance relief. You can call MetLife, Fidelity and Guarantee Life. Okay. All these services here. Rent-A-Center, for those of you who was crazy enough to do Rent-A-Center. Please don't do that kind of stuff. All right. All right. So you can rewind this and consider calling them, and they will help you. I know for a fact a couple of these Synchrony helped me, Verizon helped me, and U.S. Bank helped me. All right, especially during the pandemic when I was needing it, and then when I didn't need it, I told them I don't need your help anymore, and I was able to catch up. All right, with the what y'all call it, when you make a payment later on. All right, don't keep doing those because they'll say, well, we'll take your payment to this month and next month and add it to the end of the loan. Don't keep doing that. You're going to find yourself owing so much money when you think you paid it off, and then they send you a bill for a few $1,000s. You're like, what happened? Because you kept delaying it and what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, holding it. Not deferred, but there's another word. All right. So be wise. Not deferred, yellock is another word I'm looking for. Be wise, and let's get back to the church. Let's get back to talking about the church. All right, where my money? Where my money? Did anyone mention trunk or treat? Should probably use an opportunity to identify families in need so that we can minister to them going forward. No, not extension. What is it when you can't pay your mortgage and they allow you to what's the word I'm looking for? Somebody can put it on the screen. Thank you, Corey. Forbearance. So as I shut this down, your church should be having a meeting with you all to find out who's on these SNAP programs. And you all should be coming together, finding out who those families are, and putting your resources together. And the reason why I'm saying it this way is because your church don't have a reserve. Here's where I always get in trouble, and I could care less. This is my show. Your church don't have a reserve because your church can't afford a reserve. That's why they spend so much time and effort in preaching about tithe and offerings, because they can't afford a reserve because all the money goes towards expenses. They don't have much left. So what you need to do is have a meeting. Come together on a Bible study night, since everybody show up for that, or Sunday morning, because everybody's there for Sunday morning. Have your program and shut off your live stream. You better hear me. Shut off your live stream, because we don't need no more. Close the doors. Ushers, close the doors. And we don't need no more. You in the wrong line. I told you if you got 1,000 plus 1,000, but that ain't what I said. No, we don't need no more of those. Shut the cameras down. And you need to have, while the people are there, say, all right, y'all, we're collecting an offering. Whatever you can do, do not go broke, people. Don't do it. That's against the scriptures. If you got anything left after we done already robbed y'all earlier today, because we got to pay this mortgage. Whatever you got left, bring it. Put it in this pot. Because what y'all bring today, we're going to then have find out. We're going to have the ushers or the deacons, the trustees to come together and have cards. During the offering next week, we're going to pass out these cards, and we're going to find out how many members are on public aid. put your name and your contact number on this card. And during the offering time, y'all put the cards in the bucket. You understand what I'm saying? So Monday, when we're in the office, we're going to look over these cards and we're going to have somebody call all of these members and find out what are your needs. And then we're going to take the monies that we're raising every week in the extra, because we can't afford nothing else, and we are going to help these families. We're going to take them physically to the grocery stores, and we're going to fill up their baskets and take them to their homes. If there's any monies left, we will do what we can to help supply your immediate needs, like maybe paying on a cell phone because you have children and you have emergency this blah blah blah, because cell phones are not just luxury, they are necessities today. But the first thing we need to do is feed you. You understand? If your church can't do that, then Sherry Lynn said it earlier, run. Run. Why are you there? Run. And I know you all got this blackout coming for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Have fun with that. Okay? Y'all need I almost said it. Can I have this one? Okay. You niggas have fun with that. Okay? Go ahead and black out all you want to. Like you did Target. You shut it down. Congratulations. But let me tell you what you Negroes love to do. You Negroes love to do. You all will black out something for a day or two and put a hurting on them, and they say, you know what? Just wait for next week when we have the biggest sale we ever had. Them niggas, you only gave me one. I'm sorry, I took that extra one. It was just in me. Them niggas coming back. And the money that they saved for not coming to us this week, they're coming back 2 weeks from now. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Not me. Y'all have fun with that blackout, okay? Enjoy yourself. Because if you haven't been sitting down with your family and talking about investing, and all you do when it comes to money is talk about tithes and offerings on Sunday, and you never talk to your children about money and finances and investing, Roths and IRAs and any type of retirement funds. You don't even talk about crypto. No REITs, real estate, no gold, no silver, no mutual funds, nothing. That's a shame. I need my money. Go to your church Sunday. They're going to be there and say, hey, I need my money. And I'm talking about you people who get ready to be affected by this. Do a run on the bank. I need my money. And I need my money now. What money? What do you mean, what money? This the storehouse. You've been telling me for 50 years it's the storehouse. I need my money. Or ain't no more money coming out of me in this so-called storehouse. You've been lying to me. puts their money in a bank every week for a year and then go to the bank and say, hey, I want to make a withdrawal. And they say, we ain't got no money. We ain't got no money. Can you imagine? You would tear that bank up. You would tear that bank up like they're getting ready to tear these Walmarts down. Come Monday, they're getting ready to tear it up. But you're saying that's a ridiculous scenario. But that's the scenario. The church is the bank. You put the money in there and you went there and they're telling you there ain't no money in there. You're like, but my tithe belong to the Lord. Let me say something to you, Nick. God, I got a half one in there. I got half. I had 2.5 in there. Can I fulfill? I can't. He told me no. Listen, they've been telling you to give to the Lord, right? Now, first of all, how God gonna get that money? I mean, how do you take it? When you give it to the church, is there a stairway to heaven? Did you go up there and give it to the Lord? Huh? I don't understand how you giving the money to the Lord. I just don't understand that. All right, so you said God needs his money. No problem. Give God his money through your tithe. Now, because it's a storehouse, now I want God to give the money back to me. But you told me that it will be pressed down, shaken together, running over. Men gonna give to my bosom. That I ain't got no room to receive it in my pockets. So how is it that I can give to God, but God can't give back to me, even though his word say he will give it back to me? And he'll give back to me more than I gave to him. I only gave him 10% of my income, and he's supposed to give me so much more that I'm coming home like this. All this money in my hand. And baby, I'm trying to ring the doorbell. I can't get my key out the pocket. Who is it? What do you mean, who is it? It's your man. What are you doing out there? I got all this money. Where you coming from? I'm coming from church. It's that time. I went in there and I said, where my money? And they gave me all this money. Open the door, girl. Open the door. Thank you. Baby, what's all this money? That come from the church. Why they give you all that money? Because the pastor promised me that he'll open up a window and you opened up the door. So thank you, baby. What's for dinner? Open up the window. And the pastor just pour all the money is just, it was raining. It's raining, man. Hallelujah. Well, that's the gay version. It was raining women. It's raining women. It didn't rain on me all this money. And so we need to put this somewhere, because I look at it, the Lord done showed up. the Lord done showed up. The Holy Ghost is here, y'all. Holy Ghost is here. It's a divine intervention. Either that or he's telling me shut up. It's a divine intervention. I just don't understand. Do y'all see what I'm trying to say here? Huh? Anybody understand since the Holy Ghost has showed up? Huh? All this then came, all this money then came, overflowed. So no, that's not gonna happen at your church. Then y'all need to go somewhere. Run. Curse that only in the movies. Run. Somebody been lying to y'all too long, and y'all keep going there. Jeanette, they keep going there, girl. They keep going there and letting them rob you. So, Dania, you all right now? Huh? You all right now? We can go back on Patreon fight later on, all right? I sure love you because you faithful. Dania, you faithful. I love 8 o'clock early mornings on Patreon because I be looking for certain people. Dania is one of them, and Tina is another one, and let's see, a couple of the brothers be there. It's just Gail be there. It's a Calvinistic Don every now and then he there. Patreon early mornings. We have early morning tea, you all, where we fight. Carolyn be there. Yeah. Early morning tea. I got to put up a finance show on Patreon after this, and then Romans. All right. So if you haven't been seeing me again, my father. I got one father left. One. Always had one. I got one. He 83, 84. Well, let's see. He'll be 84 in another few more days. And I'm going to try to hold on to him as hard as I can. She said, oh, I'm perfectly fine. You go ahead, girl. Go on. Why you bragging about your looks? We know you fine. We can see you fine. Look at it. She like, I'm perfect and I'm fine. Look at it, y'all. Look at it. Go and do that, girl. Go and do that. Yeah, we see you. We see your hair. We see you. We see you ain't got not one pimple on your face. We understand. So into yourself. I'm perfectly fine. She gonna get me right. She gonna go on Patreon. She gonna inbox me. I'm so offended, L. Jones. Oh, I love the bunkers, man. I love them. I don't know what to do without them. I love them, and they love me. Even when they disagree, they love me. I know they do. All right. Let me put this. Let me put this stuff. Let me put this stuff up. Okay. So y'all need to go to your church. I'm serious. Go to your church and say, wait, where's my money? And see what they say. And if they say we ain't got no money, I don't even know why y'all there. I don't even know. Yeah, like what name are you using today? Because that you still using your government name. That's the name you're gonna use today. Gardner, so good to see you. Peggy, good to see y'all. All right, let me start the music so y'all know that I'm done. I'm gonna go do something with my life. Get over to Patreon and do some stuff. All right, but like I was saying, I got one daddy, just one, and I need y'all to do your best to open up that government and fight over this Medicaid care stuff later. I think the big problem is these 40 million people who are going to literally, in America, starve. She said, you got it coming. They're going to literally starve. So, I don't know. Democrats, I think the Republicans got y'all. The clocks ain't working, Elaine. Democrats, I think the Republicans got y'all. They got you. You wasn't aggressive enough. You should have been aggressive when you had the office, and you wasn't. You was too nice, sweet, and cuddly. You weren't aggressive enough. So you might as well cough. Because they got you. So what you going to do? Because they're going to keep blaming you for people starving to death. Dems, they did a poll and they said the Republicans shut down the government. Okay, you celebrated that, Democrats. See, they blame the Republicans. But as long as it stays shut, they're going to pass the blame to you. So all you got to do is say, we put up the white flag, we surrender, because there's going to be a whole bunch of chaos in our streets, in our towns. We bragged about how low the crimes are in the blue states. That crime about to go back up. Open up the gates. Open up the government. And y'all fight over Medicaid and Medicare. Just fight, duke it out. But these people got to eat. Or they come into your mansions and they're going to wreak havoc. Kimberly, they're going to wreak havoc on you. All right. If you know how history is, takeovers ain't no good. I mean, ain't nothing pretty with takeovers. These people, when I know I gotta go, y'all. Y'all try to do this stuff. Try to be a teacher. and act like you I'm gonna tell y'all the system. Where am I? Where I want to do? I want to tell y'all. I'm gonna show y'all the system. Okay. This is the system here. I'm gonna show y'all my notes. Okay. I may have to take the stuff off the screen. And then I'll let y'all go. All right. Let me see if I can do this. Because I want y'all to see how systems are set up and where we going. Okay, right here. Let me remove this off the screen. Y'all know where I live already, so let's take that off. Here are the systems here. All right. Communism, socialism, Nazism, fascism, princes, potentates, dictators, kings, what have you. Okay. Here are the world systems: monarchy, anarchy, aristocracy, oligarchy, democracy, tyranny, republic. Okay. Now, here we are supposed to be a republic. Rest, a thing, publica, the people. Okay? It's about laws. The government is limited by laws. You see that right there? Which leaves the people alone. The Romans built the republic. All right? Proper limitations of the Republicans are called Republicans because it is the limitations of government. All right? As we go up here, we see democracy, demos, which is the people, and crotin, which means to rule. The people rule. That's why the Constitution did not want a democracy, because the people would rule. Y'all like, huh? Don't the people rule? Isn't it of the people, by the people, for the people? Well, yes, but that could be a problem. The flaw is that the majority can't be restrained. So if more than half can be persuaded, then they rule. That's a problem, which means poor people could be the majority and poor people can rule. And the United States never, during the constitutional signings and what have you, the forefathers and the framers did not trust the citizens. They thought you all were bumbling idiots. That's why we have what's called a college, an electoral college, because they did not trust you in the voting booth. They didn't trust you to have a majority, which is why they did not want democracy. You understand? My daughter's little brother is 6 years old, and he weighs 110 pounds, which is wow, Lord have mercy. And Jesus, thank you for the gift, man. I finally got it. It was sitting back there. My post office finally released all this stuff. Finally released all my stuff, all my mail. I got mail came in today. So if you didn't get your mug, it's coming. Kimberly, I know. All right. So let me go back to this. Let me go back to this. Because remember, y'all wasn't studying this in civics class. Okay. And then oligarchy is what we are today, what we're seeing under the Donald Trump administration. It's a form of government in which ruling powers is in the hands of a few leaders. The most common government, and most of the nations of the world are under this. Oligarchy. It's about economics, the economic elites, organized interest groups. Congress is ran by special interest groups. So they not vote for you. They're not representing you. They're representing the purse in which the special interest groups give to them. And one of the biggest ones is the gun people. Okay? Y'all learning anything? All right. And so what could happen here is anarchy without government. In a state of anarchy, everyone must be armed. And the Greek says that without law, there can be no freedom. And the children of the corn was anarchy. Russians, Lenin in the brown shirts, it was anarchy. Congress, thank you to the ERA, Luann, Congress is not an entity anymore, because Congress' job is to check the executive branch. They can't check the executive branch anymore. The executive branch owns Congress. So how the Constitution is set up, we are operating unconstitutionally right now. At this moment. Let's go to the last one. Tyranny. A form of government in which ruling powers is in the hands of what? One person who has seized control. Democracy then degenerates into tyranny, where no one has discipline and society exists in chaos. Democracy is taken over by a longing for freedom. Power must be seized to maintain order. A champion will come along and experience power, which will cause him to become a tyrant. Doesn't that sound familiar, y'all? The people will start to hate him and eventually try to remove him, but will realize they are not able. Tyranny is where we're going. History don't repeat itself, but it sure do rhyme. Well, tyranny, history always repeat. This is why we are the new Roman Empire. Rome didn't explode from the outside. Rome imploded from the inside. We have one person, Donald J. Trump, who has seized control. And you would think this was a third world country or some country in Africa. Nope. This is the United States of America, which has turned into a fascist organization. It's an entity. Y'all can talk about North Korea and Russia all you want to. Just look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and you see America. This is America. Class dismissed. So God, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for the wisdom. We thank you for the people who are here midday. We thank you for shining the light in a dark place. To remind me that Holy Spirit is always present. In the time of trouble, we sure do need you right now. Help us, God. We need healing. We need it now, not just in our bodies, but in our minds and in our souls. More so, we are sin sick. We are spiritually dead. This country call themselves a Christian nation. They are not and never have been, and the framers made sure of that. They were deists. They believed in a higher calling, and you was not the person they were looking at. Till some of them literally went into the Bible and pulled out pages and got rid of the miracles and all the spiritual things that you did and made their own Bibles so that they could feel comfortable about themselves, just as racists do by going into the African American museums in our neighborhoods, and if it's funded by the government, they're saying, don't tell us about slavery. Don't post that. Don't put that. We're funding. They got rid of PBS and all these other things. They got rid of truth and got rid of books and what have you that talked about the real history of America. They want to feel good about themselves, so they remove that stuff. So that we can feel better about ourselves and where we are right now. Because we ain't responsible for what our forefathers did. That's long gone. Y'all free now. We good. Y'all can vote, and you had a black president, so we good. There is no racism in America right now. That's what's going on today. Can you imagine the Bible being ripped up and torn so that the Romans and the Greeks won't be reminded of how they treated the Jewish people? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That's what's happening today. So God help us to stay focused on truth, and that knowledge reign into our homes, and that we can teach it to our posterity, because we're not going to be here forever. They're going to grow into a nation that's going to affect them worse than it does us today. We are kicking the can down the street. Our grandchildren will feel the pain. Save them today, God, so that they might be saved tomorrow. We love you. We give your name the praise in Jesus' name. Thank God. Amen. All right, y'all. Rewind the show. Look at all those things I put on the screen. You can send money wherever you want to. But as far as my money is going, it's not going over there to the Bahamas and to Jamaica. It's not going over there. I'm just going to pray that the proper funds are sent to them by someone. Meanwhile, we've got to take care of the people here first. We'll get to them later. But right now, we got to take care of the American people who are getting ready to starve. Look after these seniors and look after these children. All right? Don't worry about these ridiculous men and women who are going on YouTube and social media saying we're going to rob this and y'all take care of my kids and they not working. Don't worry about all that stuff. We're not worried about those people. All right? This show ain't about that. So for those of you who are going to go in the comments section and say, yeah, but what about those people who are abusing the system? This show ain't about them. Stop putting that in my comment. This show ain't about them. This show is about people who are hungry. You using it as an excuse so that you won't give. You never give to the poor. You have never gave to the poor. All you are is a keyboard warrior. You worried about people who are abusing the system, but you never stopped on the street to give not even $1 to a poor person. You've never done it. So you ain't got nothing to say. Stay out of my comment section. Talking about something, what about those people? You don't help nobody. Shut up and go bury your face in the sand. It's ridiculous to me that people are pick and choose what they want to say about folks who they don't. It's like you don't do nothing for none of the people. If you don't like it, help them. Adopt them. Take them to the store. Take them to a financial class. You have one for them. Ask them to come up to the house so you can sit down and teach them how to fish. But no, all you're doing is keyboard worrying. Shut up. Get on my freaking nerve. Now I said freaking, but you know, God ain't through with me yet. There's another word that God I want to use, but I can't use it because Randy Roebuck said, thank God the old man has been removed. And I love that man, and he's telling the truth. It's not in my spirit to cuss. Not even in my spirit. One time I cussed and I felt like, oh, yuck. That didn't even feel right. I got to go.
Who church member this is?
Soldier.